Hello everyone, today I'll be showing you all some deal breakers that absolutely irk me and make me not buy cars. There are definitely more than I thought there were when making this video, but I guess I'll show you them now, so let's get into it. The first deal breaker is what you're looking at right now, bright taillights. Now to some people, these may not look that bright, but for some reason, whenever I make the clip and import it, it somewhat dims the lights, so you kind of just have to see this for yourself in GTA Online. But if you choose a car like I'm driving the Vigero ZX, the taillights are just way too bright. They have like this weird glow to them that just blows out the whole red, and it just makes the whole back of your car look red. And I don't know, maybe this may just be a tiny nitpick, but to me this is a real big deal. Like, this is annoying to look at for me. This is not to mention that some people may have sensitivity to light, and these taillights don't help that at all. I think it's just so annoying, and I don't understand why Rockstar doesn't just fix these, as I'm pretty sure it's an easy fix. Something I found out when I was making this was that if you park a car and you change the camera angle slightly, it will actually dim the brightness of these taillights. So this is very well a functional intended design of certain cars. I'm not sure why Rockstar does this. As you can see here, if you turn your camera angle, it makes it go away. So just make it go away by default. I don't get it. It's so annoying, and it is a serious deal breaker for me for certain cars. Another big deal breaker is camera angle. As you can see here, this may be slightly unnoticeable, but to me it's a big problem. The camera angle on the XA21 and a few other cars is way too high for the car position. The XA21 actually isn't that bad, but if you look at a car like, say, the Remus's camera angle is so high above the car, even at the closest camera angle in third person, it is like you're 10 light years away from the car. It's absolutely terrible. And only some cars have this. Like I said, it is a very much intended function of the car, as only some cars have them. And I'm not sure why they do this. There doesn't seem to be a pattern on cars that have this camera angle weird bug issue thingy. But it's just a variety of different cars have it. It is seriously annoying to me. And like I said, the XA21 actually isn't even that bad. I should have chose the Remus for the background gameplay. But if you drive the Remus, you will know what I'm talking about. The camera angle is way too high for the car, and it would definitely help if I just had a closer camera angle of the car. It would make the driving experience a lot more fun and a lot more bearable, for me at least. And is once again a big deal breaker. If a car has this, I may choose not buying the car just because it simply has a camera angle that is too far away. Here's what the camera angle is supposed to look like. As you can see here, I'm on the second setting. It is a decent size away from the car. It is not far away from the car. It's not close to the car. It is the perfect setting for the car. I'm pretty sure whenever they make some cars, they just mess up the camera angle, and it would definitely help, like I said, if they could just go back and fix it. That would be very nice. Well, let's move on to the next deal breaker that prevents me from buying certain cars. A very big deal breaker is bad handling. Now, I understand that there are cars with oversteer. I understand that cars have understeer, but that doesn't mean I have to like them. They just handle terribly. The Arbiter GT, the car I'm showcasing here, is actually very lucky because the car looks nice, and that sort of makes up for it. And it also has the longest wheelie in the game. It is very fast, but it just handles terribly. You can give it the slightest input and it'll jerk the car in one direction or the other, and it is just absolutely terrible to drive. Once again, I know this is on purpose. I know that this is a function of the car, but also, once again, I don't have to like the car. And in fact, I don't. A lot of cars that are like this, there was a car, I forgot what it's called, but it was that four-door muscle car. I think they removed it. It had this, but on a much smaller scale, and those cars are actually worse than the cars that have big oversteer or big understeer, because big oversteer, you can always sort of correct, but when it's minor, it kind of hits you in the face at the wrong moment, and then it's too late to correct it at that point, and by that time you probably crashed. Now in this particular case, once again, I do not hate the Arbiter GT. What the Arbiter GT lacks in terms of handling, it definitely makes up in terms of speed and wheeling. I mean, this is one of my favorite drag cars to drag race with because it is just impeccable. It has great performance in that aspect, but the handling is just not there. And HSW only accentuates this further because it makes the car faster. It makes the car have more oversteer, which is not very good. And overall, it just makes the car less fun to drive. For me, GTA Online, a big aspect of having fun is having a fun car to drive. If you have a boring car or a sluggish car to drive, you're just not going to have fun with cars in GTA Online. So while I do love drag racing cars, I'd much rather just go to the airport or the drag strip, wherever I'm going, and spawn the car there, because driving it there is going to be a pain, especially from my garage, which is far from the airport. It's just terrible. But once again, I want to make this very clear because I can already see the comments coming. I do understand that cars have oversteer. I do understand that they have understeer. But for driving around as a pretty good driver, I would say they are just way too hard to drive. They are too hard to correct, and honestly are just good for straight line speed, which is probably the biggest deal breaker in this video, because at the end of the day, the car has to handle good for me to like it. Me personally, some people may find it otherwise. And let's move on to the next deal breaker in this video. Now, in this particular case, I have an Omnis GT. It is a very fun car to drive overall, I would say. But the biggest problem with this car is that it is electric. Electric cars are known for great acceleration. And this car sucks at accelerating. Look at this. This is so slow. This is full throttle. I'm going at it completely. And it's so incredibly slow, which is the main argument of this deal breaker. If cars are just plain out slow, I will not drive them. That's it. They can be fun to drive. They can have decent handling. They can look good. The Omnis looks good. I love this car. It looks fantastic in the way I customized it. But it is just boring to drive because it is slow. I think the Omnis in particular could definitely benefit from a HSW upgrade, because that's really the only problem with this car. The handling is good, the looks are good, it is just slow, which HSW will definitely help. But we shouldn't have to put HSW on a car to make it fast. It should just be fast, especially if it is a car like the Omnis, where it is a sport sedan and electric. How can you have an electric car that is slow at accelerating? Like, how does that even exist? Now, I will say, a car doesn't necessarily have to be fast for me to like it. There are plenty of OG cars that I still drive because, you know, they're old. They were released in 2013, and the standard at the time wasn't very high for speed or performance. And what they are is what they are, and that's what I drive them for. But this is a new car. This was released as part of the contract, which is a pretty new update. And for this type of performance, it's absolutely unacceptable. I don't know why Rockstar didn't make this car faster. In particular, there are plenty of cars like this, but I just chose this car because I like how it looks, which is really unfortunate. I mean, they can nail everything about a car. They can give it good handling. They can make it look good. They can have good customization, but Rockstar just screws it up somehow. And the car is just slow, which in today GTA Online, you need a fast car to even survive. It's the unfortunate reality of GTA Online, but I'm fine with that reality as long as they make the cars fast. This type of speed is absolutely unacceptable, but I'm just going in circles at this point. Let's move on to the next deal breaker in this video. Another massive deal breaker for me is when cars have fenders or a wide body option that does not correct the fitment of the wheels. That is, it doesn't line up with the fenders that the car comes with. To add the cherry on top, this car comes like this. I can't take these fenders off or nothing. So if I wanted to correct the fitment, I can't. And it's unfortunate because I love this car. I love how it looks. I love how it drives. But as a car enthusiast, I cannot allow myself to drive around with the wheels that are this far into the wheel well. It's absolutely unacceptable, and I should be jailed if I were to drive like this. Once again, this is a very easy fix for Rockstar. All they really have to do is correct the fitment for these cars that have these fenders, and everything will be good. Lately, Rockstar has been going around and doing some quality of life features, like the whole menu with the garage selection and the updated license plate creator, which is nice. But I don't see them doing this, to be honest. They would have to go back to so many cars and make the fitment actually correct with the fenders. It will take too long for them. I don't see them doing that. This is honestly just really disappointing when cars have this. I mean, this is not something that is exclusive to a few cars. This is widespread on a lot of cars, especially JDM cars. For some reason, they seem to screw up every JDM car that has these fenders, and I don't really quite understand why. Just in case you don't believe me, here I have the 190Z. This also has fenders that go over the wheels, and the fitment does not correct to where it should be on a very popular JDM car that in real life is known for having crazy wide bodies on it. If the fitment were to be correct with the fenders, I would actually probably have them on this car because I think it makes it look pretty good. But I just can't drive around like this. It's so ridiculous. Like, it just looks so stupid to me. Here it is once again on the Tailgater S. This has wheel arches that go over the existing wheels, and it does not correct again. So I guess it isn't just on JDM cars, it's on Euro cars as well, which is fun as we all know. But come on, Rockstar, really? Like, as a game that is very well known to being appealing to car enthusiasts, how are you gonna let this be a thing for so long? Like, this has been in the game for a while. It's just crazy. And this is not exclusive to player vehicles. As you can see here, that one annoying girl from the auto shop and her other annoying boyfriend, their car has these wheel arches too, and it doesn't line up with an NPC car. That is absolutely crazy to me. Like, Rockstar, just fix this already. But that is it, everyone. A few deal breakers for me when making car purchases in GTA Online. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope you found this video humorable or informative. However you found it, hope you at least enjoyed yourself. And truly, thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate, once again, all the support I've been getting on my channel recently. It's absolutely incredible, and I can't be more thankful than I am already. And I will see you all later. Have a good day, and goodbye.